This is Phil Potempa, and welcome to another edition of OfNotoriety. Each week we bring you everything you want to make sure you mark in the calendar, all those ticket opportunities, everything that is not to be missed, all the excitement that's happening in Northwest Indiana, Chicagoland, and beyond. And, of course, it's our broadcast equivalent of all of the columns and feature stories you'll read in print editions of the flagship Post-Tribune newspaper underneath the umbrella of Chicago Tribune Media, which hits all the suburbs of Chicago with their publications, as well as the main run of the Chicago Tribune as well. We're just so glad that you're joining us here as we come to you from our Strachan Van Til studios, right here on the edge of the Purdue campus. Final broadcast of the broadcast year for us here at WJOB Jed TV. This comes to you on December the 30th. And this is 2025. So in case you're hearing a rebroadcast, you know exactly when this is. And if you're hearing something that interests you, you know that this is the time right now to act on it, because you're going to miss a great opportunity. Some of you have the added advantage of the cameras we have in the studio. So you can see everything that's happening right here, happening as it unfolds live. And you can see we are in full regalia, ready for what looks like a New Year's Eve celebration, because we have with us a returning guest that last week was here zooming in, and now we have the one and only Sharon Owens, who's bringing her New Year's double headlining show to Theater at the Center, 2 performances only for New Year's Eve. And Sharon, thank you and welcome back.
Yay!
You've been on the show a couple times, but never right here in person, so we're so glad to have you in our armchair.
I know. It's so nice to be here.
And I believe as our broadcast unfolds here, we should get a call in from counterpart Steve Leeds. So Sharon Owens' other identity on stage is that of the wonderful Barbra Streisand, joined this year for 2 performances I mentioned at our Center for Visual and Performing Arts, 1040 Munster, Indiana on Ridge Road. Steve Leeds, he does an unbelievable Tony Bennett. He did it in, I think, February of 2024. He is back again. Along with us for our conversation today, we have co-host Luke Miiller. Hello, Luke, and Tony Panek.
How's it going, everybody? Happy New Year, almost.
Happy
right.
New Year.
Almost. So give us the rundown, Luke, again, for, first of all, tickets, opportunities, the performances, and I think we might even have the poster that we can scroll as well on the screen to give you a bit of a cheat sheet.
No, like you said, Phil, 2 performances. The first one, the early one, is at 4 o'clock, and it's about an hour-and-a-half show. Then we have the elegant 7-course dinner at 6 o'clock, hosted by 1040 Catering. And then we have the 8 o'clock show, and that should get you out by 10 o'clock, or 10:30, and then you're able to celebrate the New Year elsewhere or stick around.
Absolutely. And Sharon is going to give us the ride of a lifetime. We talked a little bit about this last week. It is a show that has the best of Barbra Streisand and best of Tony Bennett, but also you have shared time on stage together, bantering and playing off one another, correct?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Because, Steve is, he's a character, So, yes, we sing, Barbra sings some Tony sings some Barbra, and, of course, you'll get the hits from both.
Yes.
And it's just a fun show, and it's also kind of tributing Tony Bennett's life as well,
Absolutely. And, I don't want to give away too much of the surprises here, but you're going to get an okay, sizable, very welcome dose of Sharon Owens, the entertainer, the performer. I'm hoping you include this. Last time you were there was a great video tribute to your father.
Right.
And will that be also a part of kind of our old anxiety?
Absolutely.
Oh, good.
Absolutely. It's really my favorite part of my show. So it's something that I get to do. I get to tribute my father every time I get up on stage. And, it's just nice. It keeps him alive in my heart. So.
Well, we all come from different kind of communication journalism backgrounds here that you're surrounded. You're the rose and we're the thorns around you here. And I know when I was going to go into journalism, my parents weren't exactly throwing confetti in the air, New Year's confetti, thinking that's not really a high-paying profession. And I remember my mom always said that, well, it's prestigious, but people don't realize that it's, again, not going to really, you're not going to have a windfall of money. And you can be comfortable, but it's not like a lawyer or going to college for this degree.
Right.
We also have Tony and Luke communication degrees, right?
Yeah, right here in Hammond,
I don't know
Indiana.
if Mom and Dad were throwing confetti in the air that you opt for those.
I don't know. I got asked him.
Were
on
your parents
New Year's.
supportive, Sharon, and said, "Yeah, go into this thing.
That
You've got
is-
a talent."
That is so funny because that was such a good transition. You were like, "Oh, the parent and Tony and look,"
Yes.
you know, because you
I could
do
call. I'll call my dad right now.
right and say, "Dad, what am I
Yeah.
doing?" But you know, what I would say to that is, if it was easy, everybody would do it.
Yeah, that's right.
So
I love that answer.
we do have a place, and it is, you know, people don't see what we do behind the
No.
scenes. And so if we were to add it together, would you say about 25 cents an hour? Maybe?
Exactly.
Would you say so?
Right.
Here at WJLB especially.
What really goes into it, you're so right. But don't you agree that it's a calling, it's really like a vocation, it's in your blood.
Right.
If you've got it, when I would teach journalism classes right here on the Purdue campus or at my alma mater, Valpo University,
Right.
there was only so much you could teach from the textbook because you almost had to have that instinct as a reporter, as a journalist. You can't teach that. When that bell or alarm goes off, you know, it just kicks in the adrenaline. Same thing as a
Absolutely.
performer, and it makes all the other stuff go away. When
Yeah.
you're on that stage and there's that applause, I imagine, and
right.
that spotlight.
Right. You're so right. You can't teach that, and there is no book.
Yeah.
And it is all experience, and you know, even but the young kids, you know, you're like an old soul. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And
Yeah.
you can't explain it to those that are just
Yeah.
looking at their phones. You know, just that's all they're doing is
Right.
dug in their phones. But it is funny. You can be tired, you could be stressed, you could be whatever, and you get up on stage and all of that goes, everything goes away.
I was talking to somebody recently about, you know, sometimes these younger performers, they're just on streaming video and they're performing in their living rooms or whatnot.
Exactly.
And then when they try to get to the stage, it's a whole different ballgame because there's the fan, you know, the
Yeah.
audience there, and
Right.
they don't.
Which
They
that's
don't.
the-
They don't
Sharon,
progress
that's the
on
best
stage
part,
like you
right?
progress on
Yeah.
stage.
That's
I mean,
the
big enough
energy you
crowd.
thrive off
Right.
of, and you're right. And not to always cast Luke in this role, but he is our young 20-something of 23, and he had to finish up his high school years during COVID, so he was secluded from everybody and sequestered.
Right.
They don't realize that energy, that interaction, except for through the screen of a phone sometimes, or
That's right.
you know, and boy, what they're missing out on. And Luke is an old soul, so he sees both sides of it. But
That's right.
have you ever experienced this? Because again, you travel in circles, you talk to folks, and you see what the bookings are. Sometimes I know my students would be like, I don't know, I might want to go into journalism if I can do like you do and go and see shows. And I'm thinking, I spent many years doing the cop beat, school board meetings, board of zoning appeals before I finally got moved to features. But they kind of have a bit of entitlement. Well, I can just do what you do and think, oh, you have to work your way to that, right?
So right.
Yeah.
You're so right. Now, I mean, let's turn the coin around though. I don't know if I could do what they do on their phone. So technology has come such a long
Yeah.
way.
Yeah.
So it's so neat when you combine the young and the sorry to say old. I don't mean
Or
to. I don't like to
established.
say that
The
word.
established.
Let's say stop. Let's not say old. But you know, just they teach us and we teach
Yeah.
them. So it really, it's an exciting time to be in entertainment. At least as even social media, because I was just talking to the boys saying I have a manager and a social media gal, Natalie, and it's so I find myself going, oh my goodness, you know, I have to sell someone. I'm like,
Well, and again, my hat's off to you or to Natalie, and I've worked with Natalie
Yes.
in communication back and forth for arrangements. You're pretty good with social media. You're a bit of an influencer. When you're tagged in something, it gets shared, and it gets shared very quickly. So either it's you or it's pay no attention to the man behind the curtain. Somebody's doing what they're supposed to do.
yeah, you do know that is all Natalie.
But Natalie hasn't been with you that long, has she? How long have you had Natalie on board?
Well, I've known her since, I wish she was sitting here, 13, 12 years.
Oh, you have had her for a while.
I've
okay.
known her since she's
All
been a
right.
young girl, and we kind of grew into this relationship, and now she does her own podcast in New York and produces. And she and I are dear friends. So
she is wonderful.
Yeah.
She is a go-getter, and she's on the mark every time. If you're hearing this voice and you're wondering exactly who it is, tune in through our radio dial, or you've scrolled into your social media and you're seeing us looking like we're having a party here at the WJOB Strachan Van Til Studios in Hammond. It's because we are saluting the one and only incomparable. I love that word, incomparable. Sharon Owens. She's bringing her New Year's Eve concert as a double headlining bill with Steve Leeds. He's going to do his Tony Bennett. Both have been at the Theater of the Center stage previously, never paired in this incarnation for 2 New Year's shows, and we love to call them our early New Year's because we have our 4 o'clock, come in a little earlier, and sandwiched between the 4 o'clock and then the 8 o'clock curtain performance is that sumptuous multi-course dinner by our friends at 1040 Catering right there at the Performing Arts Center in the elegant ballroom underneath the glistening chandeliers. It's a fantastic menu you will not want to miss. It's one-stop shop. You don't have to add it. You can just do show only, but it just makes sense to have all it right there. And you never know, again, what the weather's going to be like. And we're so close right here, free parking. And there's just the beauty of the atrium right now with our Festival of Trees only on for another few days. They all come down January the 2nd. Your chance to stroll those 25 themed trees in the atrium. And then again, the ballroom, the wonderful, wonderful Brass Tavern with all your favorite cocktails, including some signature cocktails for New Year's, and of course, lots of champagne and bubbly. And give us the prices and the box office phone numbers, Luke.
Yep, $60 for the show, $75 to add the dinner as well. And then you can call the box office at 219-836-3255, extension 1.
Sharon, I have written many times about Legends in Concert. When I've been in Las Vegas, we would go and see, and I think it was kind of the standing show for years at the Riviera. One of those showrooms had it there. It's just sort of its booked standing show. We would see it there, and then it would go on tour, and it would play our casinos here, like the Blue Chip.
Yeah.
I've got your own solo career, or did you ever tour with them and go out on the road? Or no, that's not my thing. Or earlier on, I did.
Oh no. I got my start with Legends pretty much.
I thought you did.
I really did. My solo show, I do kind of break that fourth wall, and I tell the audience, I'm not really her, right? and I tell them how I was spoofing her because I'm a theater girl, like all of us, musical theater,
Sure.
and my dream was to go to Broadway. That's what I graduated with, a vocal musical degree and voice, and I was just like spoofing her in a dinner theater in Los Angeles, and I had no idea that people dressed up like the characters and imitated, maybe in a movie or a joke. But when I found out Legends in Concert, that was what they were all about. Which, by the way, Johnny Stewart just passed away. I don't know if you know that name, but he is the father of he started Legends back in the
Really?
80s.
Wow.
Johnny Stewart, he just passed away.
Really? Oh, that's
So it's just it's a cool show. It's a really cool show.
And when you're dealing with he'll be back. When you're dealing with
maybe.
Yes, that's our Steve.
Oh,
That's our
that's
Steve. We want to make
Steve.
sure we get him on the right phone line.
when
here.
you're on stage, you do shows alone, and you also perform with many others.
Yeah.
Robbie, Steven. What's
Right.
that? What do you? It's probably fun to be up there just alone, but to have that interaction with another entertainer on stage, that's probably really fun.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
It's so fun doing the duos. And you know what? We could
and
get
that's
all-
a real chemistry. That's not made
I
up.
was
That is a real
just
chemistry.
Gonna say that. I was just going to
Yeah.
say that. And see, that's what's so cool about us is they don't realize that chemistry has to be there.
Oh,
You
yeah.
can't fake that.
You can't fake it. And both Robbie and Steve are so fun to be on stage. And I really, just because you know Robbie.
Yeah.
So Robbie loves to try to throw me off. Robbie likes to try to throw me off. And Steve, I try to throw him off.
Yeah, well, this is good. This
You never
is
know.
fun.
You got to keep it fresh every time.
Are we trying to get him?
I think they're trying to patch through.
Okay.
There was one of the great shots. It has to be just recently. that I gave the producer to float, and it was a photo of you and Robbie, and you're right by the makeup mirrors, and the lights are framing you. It's just a great shot. You can just see the magic of that chemistry, and it is so real. We're talking about some of the Vegas legends here that have been over the years, one of which, thinking of a Barbra Streisand, the one and only, and it's so sad. It's the anniversary of her death yesterday, the one and only Debbie Reynolds. And she would do a lot of impersonations when she would do her show, and she was such a hard worker. She always had to be working because she just had bad luck with her investments and her husband's. Right. But she would do a Barbra Streisand, and she had a little prosthetic nose she would slip on. But then halfway through, she would say, I'm going to do my Carol Channing, and she would take the wig and make it askew, so it would kind of bush out, and then suddenly she'd be Carol Channing. So, Luke, where are we at with our Steve Leeds
Yep,
patch?
he should be pitched in.
Oh, no.
Yeah, I told him to give a
Debbie
call on the
Reynolds.
studio line. So
Yeah, I gave him that line, and then we gave him a call from the studio line as well.
And we should let our audience know Steve Leeds, again, who's going to be the counterpart here on stage as our Tony Bennett. He is flying, boy, he's in for a surprise, he and his wife, from, I think, Palm Beach, Florida
That's
area
right.
there. And so it's toasty warm there compared
That's
to
right.
what we have here. But still, in the caverns of our dressing rooms, you're going to be plenty warm, and you're going to be just fine. And on that stage, boy, it heats up quick with those stage lights, doesn't
Yeah.
it? It does not take long at all.
Sharon, it was 60 degrees the day before you arrived, and then we're down to 0 the next day. So that's how weather is in the Midwest.
Is that
here.
crazy?
It's crazy.
Actually, today is lovely. I mean, it's
Is it?
cold. It's cold.
Yeah.
But compared to yesterday, when this big storm came through, and
Sure.
it was windy and cold.
Yep.
But today, I can take it. It's just
Yeah.
it's just cold, but it's not
That
windy
wind
and
has
raining.
subsided. It's that wind that has been so tricky, and that's
Well,
thrown off
Chicago.
everybody for
Robbie
flight. You're
said,
right. For
Robbie
flights
said these were
and
the coldest
everything.
temps he's ever been in his life. So I don't,
It still
how
didn't
that
prevent
goes,
him from
but
going out and having a good cigar once in a while.
Oh gosh,
and
and you
indulging.
gotta
that keeps you warm.
Vegas. You gotta. I mean, Vegas. Come on, it's
Yeah.
it gets cool nights because of desert, but during the day it heats up. So
I don't know if I might have gotten to ask you this in one of our previous interviews, but I want to revisit it. And what folks don't realize is that when you're in the industry such as you don't get to see a lot of shows because you are in shows. So
Right.
it's hard for you to go across the strip or go and see something.
Absolutely.
This would have been a Broadway show that was so popular, and it came through Chicago, and it was called Buyer and Seller, and it was about Barbra Streisand. That she really, I think it's her Malibu estate.
Right.
She has a whole wing of her property that she has converted into like a little shopping mall.
it's the basement.
The basement of her house. Right. Did you ever go see that show by chance?
No, but I have heard
Yeah.
much about it, and
Very fun and clever. and
it's clever
It's
and
tongue
fun.
in cheek.
Yeah.
In that, she again likes to go down there. And mainly, I think what she's done is she has so many things, costumes and things,
She's
and doll
collected.
collections. So
She's
she
collected.
has them on display, and it looks like kind of a retail landscape. But, I think I hear somebody there. That could
Hello?
Be there, Steve. Can we hear you? Yes.
Hi.
All of us hear you. You are a good sport. Thank you so much for being diligent and joining us.
That's okay. I'm let's try and not get sidetracked. But the crowd's online here at this airport in Florida because they're coming to see the show.
Oh, is that
Good. Spread the word.
Well, Sharon is here, and she is raring to go, and you're
Great.
going to be the same when you touch down and we get you right here on property. Gosh, it's been a while. It was February of 2024 when you brought the solo Tony Bennett show, and we had so much fun with you here. We knew we had to get you back, and to pair you up with Sharon, this is really it's iconic to have both of you on stage. And what a great way to welcome our 2026.
Thank you. Well, working with Sharon is like a dream come true every time I work with her. Wonderful.
Same here.
And she tells us this funny story, and I got to give you props. If it wasn't for you, you did the cajoling that got her to say, I'm not going to put on a meat dress, but maybe I can come up with some kind of a Lady Gaga guise. If it's the snazzy, jazzy side of her,
Right.
not the pop star, and you got a booking, and she said, all right, I'll make it happen. Is that true? You had to kind of really needle her a little bit for that?
Oh, absolutely. She said, "No, I can't do that. I don't do that. I'm not going to." I said, "No." She works with Tony Bennett, with
Yeah.
God rest her soul, and it works great. And she's Tony Bennett said to Lady Gaga, "You're a jazz singer." And that's what Sharon is also. She can put on, wear any hat. She's fantastic, Barbra Streisand, and she could do Lady Gaga too.
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah, and we keep emphasizing that there's not Lady Gaga in this particular show. It's all Babs and all Tony, but it doesn't mean that down the road, it doesn't mean that we don't have a revisit here. I was so impressed where Luke was putting together the program for tomorrow, and both of you have such impressive credits of performing internationally. But Steve, you had some stomping grounds at the watering hole that is the famed Rainbow Room, right there in the middle of it all in the Big Apple of Times Square. Can you do a little fun name dropping of somebody else who might have been there? You crossed paths with I don't know, it can be anybody. It could be a cabaret person. It could be a Kay Ballard or any of the greats that you might have rubbed elbows with at some point.
Name them. They were there because we did the first opening. We had an 11-piece orchestra. It was the Rainbow Room. By the way, it's Rockefeller Center, right where the tree is. That's the heart of Manhattan, not Times Square. Everyone from Jack Jones to Sinatra. I sang for Frank Sinatra at his 75th birthday party. And, everyone who went into the Rainbow Room back in the day, I don't know if you can hear me okay.
Oh, yeah.
Perfect.
Sure.
Yeah.
All right, great. Any of the celebrities, because it was a renovation, it was a $25 million renovation of the Rainbow Room in 1988, and had been closed for 2 years. So every celebrity that ever walked through Manhattan went to the Rainbow Room, and I was fortunate enough to be there as the boy singer with the band, so to speak.
I'm curious, your career goes back so long. Does it include a stretch in the 70s where you had to wear those ruffled tuxedo shirts?
Absolutely. As a matter of fact, I have one with me for the show tomorrow.
Sharon and we've only read about those days, right, Sharon? We don't go back that far, right?
He's so funny. Oh my gosh, Steve. He cracks you up. He cracks me up.
Well, it's Steve, right before you got on the air with us, Sharon gave a little hint that she says, when we're out there bantering, sometimes I like to throw a curveball at Steve just to keep him on his heels. So look out.
That's great.
Yeah. Well, we look forward to
really
seeing
looking
you.
forward to working with Sharon and making music together, and I'm sure everybody's going to love it.
Absolutely. Yeah. And Steve, we don't want to make you late. I know you're at the airport. You're going to get to the gate. I know the miss is going to keep you on track. Look forward to seeing you later on. You're going to rest up, and then tomorrow we'll get a little bit of a run through there around 12:30. The grand piano is all tuned and on stage. The audiences are ready. You rest up some on that airplane, okay?
Absolutely. Thank you so much. I'm glad we were able to connect before the show. So, God willing, I'm flying, and I'll see you tomorrow.
All right. We'll see you in this time zone very soon.
Bye, Steve.
Bye-bye.
Bye, Sharon.
Bye. See you soon.
Okay, hon. Bye.
Very good. Oh, wow. The one and only Steve Leeds and Sharon, and they have you also. We're kind of curious. We want to ask you this question as our time starts to evaporate here in our closing. We're talking about New Year's Eve. There are still some tickets available. You can either do the earlier 4 o'clock or the 8 o'clock performance. Even dinner reservations, I believe they can still get a table up for you as well. Luke's going to give us the rundown of that information. Go ahead and give us our box office number, our website, and our reservation info.
I'll give it all. It's 219-836-325 extension 1 to buy tickets from the theater box office. And then you can call 219-836-1930 to book reservations for the dinner. And again, $60 for the tickets, for the show tickets, and then $75 to add the dinner on. You don't want to miss it.
Yeah, and it's a chance to make really every show is going to be unique. So it's a memory that's captured just one time, and there's our marquee there. That's our earlier incarnation of the marquee from the past. There's some the New Year's revelry in the ballroom of the past.
There you go.
Look at there.
That looks great.
I think there might be a few party favors
recreate-
tossed out from
recreate
stage.
that.
There's that shot that I love so much,
I
Sharon.
know.
And that's just recent, right?
That's Natalie in the back taking it.
Natalie's there.
Social
Hey, a cameo
media.
from
Gotta get her.
Natalie
I
there.
got a little
There you go.
cameo.
There you go.
Yeah. that is
Oh,
great.
she's gonna think that's fun.
And again, that elegance. There's one unique thing that I love in a Sharon Owens writer, because we're cut from the same cloth. She insists on a very, very subtle pink bouquet of roses included there on stage, and it has a symbolism and a meaning. And then and there's that famed teacup, just like Barbra did there in that famous comeback tour.
Oh yeah.
And she's sold out over and over and over again. And there's the only one and only. And there's our kind of a glimpse at
Getting
some of
hungry now.
the previous New Year's dinners that are served. You, of course, will be dining and feasting on this as well, Sharon. And everybody, for a $75 price, 7-course meal includes that toasting glass of champagne. you can't go wrong. The phone number for those dinner reservations, 219-836-1930, extension 2. We'll get you right there, and look at the champagne flowing at that
You can
table.
stay dressed up for the occasion.
You know what?
That's a T-shirt,
How
by the way,
nice.
Sharon. That is a T-shirt
How-
tuxedo.
How nice that you can just come. You can come as you are. I mean, you can get dressed up. You can
Yeah,
wear a
yeah,
gown,
of
or you
course, of course.
just come in your Uggs like me.
Tony tends to kind of march to his own parade, so
Got to be comfortable. On
he's
TV.
going
course
to
you
be
do.
comfortable. But there they are. There's our headliners for this year. Again, December 31st, no matter when you're tuning in to this broadcast, it's being captured right now on December the 30th. Thank you so much, Sharon. It's the last broadcast for this show for the year, and also in our studio space here as we transition. We get back to our roots at our original studio, which is just right down the street. Tony, do you remember the address? Is it Wolcott?
Alcott Avenue.
Alcott,
yeah.
very close.
I forget the numbers.
All right, I was close. I added a W to it. And this morning I heard our producers saying that. Jim said, this whole TV stuff, that's all her idea. She has to disassemble all these cameras and reassemble them. But we know we're in good hands. And an early, happy, and safe New Year to you also, Adrian. Thank you for all that you do.
Yep.
And to you, our viewers and our listeners, thank you for being a part of our broadcast. We appreciate you, and we couldn't be here without you. So we look forward to seeing you in the new year in 2026. We hope that you enjoy the rest of your day, be it morning, afternoon, or evening, or wherever your path might take you.